Ava Myles felt the tremors in the earth as she lifted the metallic core from its resting place. It was cold, unnaturally so, pulsating gently against her fingers like a heartbeat of the cosmos. Dust hung in the air of Nikola Tesla's sealed lab, particles swirling in the dim light, remnants of a bygone era. She squinted, peering at the features on the core, etched glyphs that danced like living shadows, maps of stars that seemed to whisper secrets. The world outside was dark, pierced only by the flickering remnants of a society ripped apart by a mysterious blackout. She could almost hear the wails of the city, the cries of a civilization teetering on the brink. Ava had navigated this chaos for years as a scavenger, but now she felt the weight of the prototype in her hands, a relic of hope in a crumbling universe. "It's alive," she murmured, astonished. At her touch, the core thrummed louder, sending ripples of energy racing up her arm. Soft light flickered to life, illuminating the lab with tendrils of color. Images formed, the distant constellations and paths through the void, some adorned with alien glyphs that twisted her stomach in a knot of fear and curiosity. Then, without warning, the ceiling above rumbled. Ava froze. The air crackled. A distant roar turned into a deafening crash, and her heart raced. Outside, destruction had arrived. The sky split apart. A fleet of alien ships silhouetted against the burning air, unleashing a barrage of fiery death upon what remained of civilization. She could see the sparks cascading down like rain, the unmistakable glow of obliteration painting the horizon. Ava looked up, panic rising in her chest. The core pulsed violently now, glowing like a dying star, as if responding to the chaos above. Then, as if deciding something, it locked onto the biggest ship. The beams of energy twisted and danced, rising into the heavens, casting a shimmering arc of light. "Come on, work!" she shouted, but her voice was lost among the cacophony of destruction. The core didn't listen to her. Instead of calming, it thrummed with renewed vigor, sending a shock wave that rippled through the earth. She gasped, feeling its power flowing into her. The aliens focused on her for a moment, their vessels pausing mid-assault, possibly drawn by the core's energy signature. "Please," she cried, hopelessly. But something deep inside her urged her to hold on, to embrace the power coursing through her veins. Then it happened. The core unleashed a brilliant beam that illuminated the darkness, targeting the alien invaders with a precision only Tesla could have imagined. Ava stood transfixed, and in that moment before the storm of destruction began anew, she felt an unshakable sense of purpose welling within her, a knowing that she was part of something bigger. A shattering roar erupted as the alien ships responded in kind, their weapons reigniting. The beams of energy merged, lighting up the world as battles commenced above. But as she watched, a chilling thought pierced her mind. If she hadn't discovered the core, the sky above her would only be falling down. With her heart racing, she turned toward the exit, determination ignited in her chest. But before she could take a step, her feet felt rooted to the ground, entranced by the dance of light. There was no escaping the storm of fate that loomed. Tesla's device sprang to life, its glow brighter than a supernova. The resonance enveloped her, and she could suddenly see, feel everything. And then there was nothing but blinding light. Ava felt the rush of the city's chaos fade behind her as she bolted down the cracked streets of Denver. The metallic core throbbed with energy, clutched tightly in her arms. Distant sirens wailed, punctuated by blasts that rocked the air with fury. Xeno-hunter drones, sleek and menacing, skimmed overhead. Their sensors were locked on, drawn to the core's signature like moths to a flame. "We need to move now," she shouted to herself, sprinting toward the ruins of an old Tesla museum. She had heard whispers of Dr. Raj Varma hiding there, a quantum technologist who might know how to harness this strange power. As she rounded a corner, one of the drones swooped close, its red sensors scanning the ground. Ava ducked behind a toppled billboard, heart racing. Her breath was quick and shallow, every moment a pulse of adrenaline. "Keep it together, Ava," she whispered, eyes wide. The drone veered away, and she took a chance. Sprinting toward the museum, she finally reached the door, now hanging by a single hinge. "Raj!" she called out, urgency etched in her voice. From the shadows, a figure emerged, white lab coat tattered but still familiar. "Ava, what happened?" Raj moved swiftly to her side. "You look like you've seen a ghost." "This," she said, holding up the core. "It's Tesla's prototype. We need to use it now." She thrust the device toward him, its glow intensified as if eager for a connection. Raj's eyes widened. "Prototype T1. I thought it was a theoretical concept. It can't be real." He hesitated, the urgency of the moment rippling between them. "What does it do?" "I think it's some sort of—" "Oh no!" A loud drone whir echoed above them, and the air tingled with impending danger. She turned her gaze back to Raj, panic clawing at her chest. "We have to test it! They're coming, Raj!" He grabbed a nearby workbench, his fingers trembling as he adjusted the apparatus. "If we can stabilize this core, it might give us a chance." Ava nodded, swallowing hard. "Do it." As Raj tinkered with the core, the air between them pulsed with unseen tension. The device hummed, resonating with a strange pulse that matched her heartbeat. Then, without warning, a micro rift tore open, illuminating the room with a blinding light. Fragments of an enormous alien command vessel flashed within, a glimpse of hideous machinery entwined with human captives plugged into its grotesque system, their faces twisted in silent screams. "Look!" Raj gasped, pointing. "There! Do you see the humans?" Ava's eyes widened, disbelief clawing at her mind. The portal flickered, then shut with a violent snap, plunging them back into darkness and chaos. "Raj," she panted, "those people. We have to help them." But before he could respond, the walls shook and the sound of buzzing drones filled the air. They were back, closing in fast. "Get ready!" Ava shouted, adrenaline surging. Raj raised his hands toward the core, and the device vibrated as energy coursed through it. "Let's open a path. We can't let them find us." As the core glowed brighter, Ava felt a surge of fear and resolve. Every instinct screamed that time was running out. Those captives needed them. The door burst open, and the drones flooded in, searching for them. Ava took a step back, clenching her fists. "We have to fight!" But Raj hesitated. "What if we end up like them?" Ava's heart raced. "Then we know what we're fighting for. Now make it work!" The air distorted. Energy crackled around them as the core pulsed violently. Behind them, the drones hovered closer, their metallic eyes glinting. Ava's mind raced. They had to act. They had to. A blinding flash erupted from the core, consuming them both as the drones advanced. The darkness closed in around her. The darkness engulfed them, and the pulsing core lit the room like a dying star. Ava felt the surge of energy crackle in the air, electrifying her skin. The drones screeched above, metallic wings slicing through the chaos. "Raj, we need to move!" she shouted, her voice barely cutting through the din. Raj's hands flew over the core. "I'm trying. It's unstable." The drones swept closer, their sensors projecting ominous red beams. A chill ran down Ava's spine. "If they catch us..." A boom resonated through the room as Raj throttled the core, and a rift opened, swirling with blinding light. It was like a tear in reality, exposing both the stars and something monstrous within. "Look!" Ava gasped, pointing into the rift. Raj squinted, breath caught in his throat. Images flickered in the aperture. An enormous alien command vessel loomed, grotesque and imposing. Captives, human and alien, floated within, their expressions twisted in agony, plugged into that dark machinery. "We have to help them!" Ava yelled, hope sparking within her. Raj shook his head, dread replacing wonder. "How? We can't even save ourselves." A mechanical whir erupted nearby as one of the drones broke through a shattered window, scanning the debris-strewn room. Fear clawed at Ava's chest. "Focus, Raj. We're their only chance." "Okay," he replied, determination hardening his voice. "We'll stabilize it. We'll..." Before he could finish, the drones swarmed, piercing the air with metal wings and laser sights. "Get ready!" Ava snapped, adrenaline coursing through her veins. "We can't fight them!" Raj shouted, eyes wide with fear. "Then let's run!" Ava urged, urgency saturating her voice. Raj's hand hovered over the core. "If it opens again, we can escape. But I need time." "Time is a luxury we don't have." The room was a storm of flashing lights and whirring machinery. Ava felt the pull of the rift, the way it beckoned, but they had to create a distraction. "I'll hold them back. Just make it work." She dashed forward, fear and bravery mixing into one frenetic drive. "Over here!" she screamed, waving her arms. The drones pivoted, their red beams locking onto her. The metal floor vibrated beneath her feet as they advanced. "Now, Raj!" Raj hunched over the core, beads of sweat glistening on his forehead. "I'm going. Just hold them," he yelled, desperate fingers flying across the controls. Ava felt time stretch as the drones lurched closer. Come on," she whispered, stepping back, heart in her throat. Then, in a moment that seemed to suspend all reason, Raj hit a switch. A pulse rippled from the core, a wave of raw energy thrumming through the air. Light exploded around them, sending dazzling arcs toward the drones. They jerked back, momentarily stunned. "Now!" Ava shouted. "Jump!" With a last surge of determination, she leapt towards the rift, the world beyond a cacophony of colors and terrifying shapes. Raj followed her, and the moment they crossed through, the light swallowed them whole. They soared through darkness, and then, suddenly, they tumbled into an orbital scrapyard, a vast expanse of twisted metal and the muffled sounds of engines echoing in the void. The rift snapped shut behind them, leaving the chaos of Denver and those pleading faces behind. Ava landed hard on a platform, gasping for breath. "Raj, where are we?" He scrambled to his feet, eyes darting around. I think we're in an orbital scrapyard. Look at this place." It was littered with remnants of space vessels, their shattered frames drifting like ghosts in the fading light of distant stars. A glint caught her eye as she pulled herself up. "We can find parts here. We can fix the core." "Maybe," Raj muttered, scanning the area. "But we've got to be quiet. These places are often overrun by harvesters. Harvesters? Ava echoed, heart sinking. The name brought to mind images of the alien monstrosities she had barely escaped. Yeah, aliens that repurpose tech. They'll tear us apart without a second thought. His eyes were wide, anxiety etched across his face. Just then, a low hum reverberated through the metal beneath them. Ava and Raj exchanged panicked glances. "They're here," Raj whispered. Ava steadied her breath, adopting a fighting stance. "We need to find cover. We can't let them spot us." As they crept along the edge of a broken ship, a rusted panel ignited with lights, revealing a holographic interface flickering in a language neither of them understood. In the center, a message began to form. Strangely familiar words filled the air. "In the year of destiny, trust the machine with a soul. War is coming. Prepare." Suddenly, a loud clang rang out, breaking their focus. Raj's eyes darted. "We need to go. Now." But before they could move, the ship flickered violently. Torches ignited along the hull, illuminating more than just metal. "Someone activated it!" Ava shouted, panic flashing through her heart. The ship's thrusters roared to life. The floor beneath them shook. "We're not alone," Raj said, fear blooming on his face. "Incoming!" Ava yelled, their surroundings distorting as shadows converged. Then, another unmistakable sound echoed through the vastness, a chilling, electronic growl, the unmistakable signal of the harvesters. "Run!" she shouted. They tore through the scrapyard, weaving between skeletal ships and debris. Breathless and frantic, they sprinted as closer, darker forms closed in. The warnings from Tesla echoed in Ava's mind. War was here. As they dashed toward what appeared to be a hastily erected barricade, the mere thought of capture loomed, and an uneasy realization struck her. They were getting cornered. "Back! Back this way!" she hollered, but the sound of their pursuers echoed like thunder in her ears. Then she spotted a glimpse of familiar shapes, a small enclave of warmth amid the metallic chill. "Over there." But what awaited them was uncertain. The threat loomed behind, and they knew they had only moments to make a choice: fight or flee into the unknown. Would the strange ship protect them, or would it be their tomb? As the shadows closed in, Ava's heart pounded with a single thought. This wasn't over, not by a long shot. Ava's breath caught as she was pulled aboard the Antioch, the weight of a familiar presence surrounding her. The ship throbbed like a living creature, its corridors dimly lit, reminding her of the mechanical heart they had just escaped. Captain Ellison stood before her, scrutinizing her with suspicion. "You're saying you found Tesla's prototype?" he asked, his tone sharp as a blade. "It brought us here," Ava replied quickly, her mind racing. It was the only way to escape the harvesters. Ellison's eyes narrowed, studying the core still pulsing behind her. "And what exactly can it do?" "It showed me," she started, but he cut her off. "Showed you what?" The captain stepped closer, wounded arm evident, his urgency palpable. "You're talking about an unstable power source. What if it—" Before he could finish, the core glowed brighter, iridescent tendrils emerging from its surface and winding around Ellison's arm. He froze, shock registering in his features. "What the—" Ava watched, heart pounding. "It's reacting to you." Ellison shook his arm violently, trying to break free, but the energy coiled tighter, almost as if it were examining him. "This isn't good. We have to—" An alert blared through the ship. Alarms shrieked, cutting through Ellison's words. "Boarding team," he shouted, tension crackling in the air. "Secure the perimeter." "Securing the perimeter from what?" Ava questioned, panic clawing at her insides. The cockpit viewport displayed a chilling sight. Alien silhouettes emerging through the ship's hull. Phasing into existence, they moved like shadows, their forms unsettlingly fluid and menacing. "Ellison, we don't have time!" Ava shouted. "We need to go, now!" "Get to the cockpit," he ordered. "We'll make an emergency warp jump." Ava nodded, rushing with him. But as they neared the controls, she felt the core pulse harder, a rhythmic thrum beneath her fingertips. It seemed agitated, almost sentient. "Wait, what if it can help us?" "It's not helping!" Ellison snapped, staring at the approaching alien boarding team, weapons drawn. "We need to move now!" But the energy enveloping Ellison's arm flared, illuminating the cockpit in a blinding flash. The aliens staggered back, a screech reverberating through the ship. Ava watched in awe as the core responded, interfacing with the ship's systems. "Ellison, don't!" she screamed. In an instant, the core activated, pulling them forward into the fabric of space and time. But instead of the stars, darkness surrounded them, an unknown realm beyond comprehension. "This isn't right!" Ava yelled, her heart racing. "We're not jumping!" The ship quaked violently as they were sucked deeper into the void. Panic swirled around her. What had Tesla created? Why this? Why now? Then, the darkness erupted, and they were propelled into a place that felt all too familiar. A vivid memory come to life. As Ava blinked against the harsh light, they found themselves inside a bustling 19th century New York, the air thick with the scent of coal and oil. Strange machines rolled in the streets, their features echoing the alien designs she had glimpsed before. "No, this can't be real," she whispered, taking a cautious step forward. "We're in Tesla's memory," Ellison breathed, awestruck. "This is—" Suddenly the ground trembled as grotesque machines lurked through the alleys, an eerie harmony of familiar technology and alien biology. "They've come again," Ava murmured, realization dawning. Tesla knew. He buried the prototype for a reason. "Can we escape?" Ellison asked, gripping her shoulder tight, his eyes wild with fear. Before she could respond, the machines turned, their eyes glowing with awareness as they zeroed in on Ava and Ellison's presence. "Run!" she shouted, adrenaline flooding her veins. Terror surged through her as they raced through the bustling streets. They were trapped in a memory, surrounded by echoes of a past that could consume them. But as they sought a way out, Ava felt the heavy weight of destiny pressing down. The prototype, with its connection to the past, might reveal more than they were ready to face. With every step, the threat grew. Would they survive this twisted game of Tesla's making? And what other horrors lay in wait within his mind? Ava blinked in disbelief as she stepped onto the cobblestone streets, a phantasmagoria of 19th century New York materializing around her. The air crackled with energy, a blend of coal smoke and electric dreams. "What is this place?" she breathed, taking in the sepia-toned world bustling with humans and machines. "It's Tesla's memory!" Ellison gasped, his eyes wide with wonder and terror. "We've been pulled into his mind!" Ava's heart raced, realization dawning. He buried the prototype for a reason. It's a test. Before he could respond, the ground trembled. A mechanical roar echoed through the streets. Ava turned, and her stomach sank as twin silhouettes emerged from the shadows. War machines, sinister versions of memories, stalked the alleyways like hungry beasts, their forms a grotesque blend of metallic sinew and alien biology. "This isn't good," Ellison muttered, his grip tightening on Ava's arm. "We need to get out." "Which way?" Ava shouted, panic surging through her. The machines locked their glowing eyes on them, hunger radiating from their frames. Suddenly, a sharp metallic hiss filled the air. The war machines advanced, their gears grinding ominously. Ava could feel their intent. More than mere hunters, they were embodiments of a looming threat. "Run!" she cried, pulling Ellison along. They dashed through the throng of people, their laughter and chatter a stark contrast to the encroaching danger. "Where are we supposed to go?" he shouted, scanning their surroundings. "Somewhere safe," she replied, instincts kicking in. Just then, a shadow passed overhead. A machine launched itself from a rooftop, landing in their path with a thunderous crash. "Turn back!" Ellison yelled, fear etched into every line of his face. "No, we can't let them corner us," Ava urged. She glanced around, desperate for a plan, when a sudden idea struck her. "The prototype. Maybe it can show us the way out." A blinding flash pulsed from the core, still latched to Ellison's arm. The war machines paused, their mechanical senses probing the air. "Do it!" he shouted, hope and dread mingling in his voice. Ava closed her eyes, reaching deep inside herself, trying to attune to the prototype's energy. She focused on Tesla's signature, where reality met imagination. The prototype throbbed, and images flickered in her mind. Fractured memories danced like fireflies. A hidden door, a path through the chaos, a way out. "Over there!" she shouted, pointing to an alley lined with flickering gas lamps. "We can slip through." They sprinted toward the opening, but as they neared it, the machines accelerated, thumping along the ground, relentless. Ava felt time slow, her heart heavy with the weight of choices. "Go, I'll hold them off!" Ellison cried, planting himself in front of her, defiance sparking in his eyes. "No, I won't leave you," Ava protested. "Just go!" he shouted, launching himself toward the machines, fists clenched. Ava hesitated, torn. But as the closest war machine lunged at Ellison, she made a split-second decision. "Ellison!" she shouted, her voice desperate. She poured everything she had into the prototype. Suddenly, tendrils of light shot from the core, wrapping around Ellison, pulling him back just as the machine swept its claws. Ava felt the surge of energy, a connection igniting between them, a bond forged in desperation and hope. The power spiraled, and the holographic world around them flickered, threatening to fracture. "Now, Ava!" he yelled, the words barely escaping his lips before a rift split open above them, a vortex of light. The machines hesitated, their confusion palpable, but it was too late. With one last, breathless push, Ava dove toward the opening, dragging Ellison with her. The world twisted and warped, the sounds of the past fading into silence. As they fell, surrounded by blinding light, Ava realized they were hurtling deeper into Tesla's consciousness. What would await them in this uncharted territory? She steeled herself for whatever lay ahead, but deep down, fear gnawed at her. Could they truly emerge unscathed? Clutching Ellison's hand tightly, they spiraled into the unknown, ready or not. The city-sized alien command vessel loomed outside, pulsating with an ominous energy that sent a chill through Ava's spine. She and Ellison emerged from the rift, gasping for breath, reality crashing back like a tidal wave. What just happened? Were we really inside Tesla's memory? Ellison's voice trembled, bewilderment etched across his face. I think we were, Ava replied, stealing glances at the immense structure before them. It floated in space, a grotesque artifice of shadows and light. And now we're here. The T1 core on Ellison's arm began to groan, an eerie resonance filling the air. What's it saying? He asked, panic creeping in. A flash of light erupted from the core, and it pulsed rhythmically, almost as if answering him. I think it's rebooting. It wants us to listen, Ava urged, her heart racing with a mix of dread and excitement. Images danced within the device's glow, a collage of the alien ship's inner workings, revealing a complex network of energy conduits and data streams. It's showing us how to overload their energy matrix, she breathed, her mind racing to comprehend the potential thrust of such a revelation. Ellison's eyes widened as he connected the dots. That could cripple them, but we need a way inside the core, don't we? Ava interjected, her voice rising with urgency. Look. She pointed at a swirling expanse of energy in the illustrations, pulsing in sync with the core. That's their energy spine. We have to get there. That's a suicide mission, Ellison said flatly, skepticism tightening his jaw. They'll tear us apart. Ava felt the weight of his words press on her chest. If we don't stop them, they'll harvest Earth, every last one of us. We don't have a choice. He hesitated, his eyes roaming the vastness of the alien monstrosity. And who's going to do it? You? Me? The core shimmered, light extending in tendrils toward Ellison, like it recognized him. I can't risk your life, he said fiercely, taking a step back. But the light pulsed in a more intense rhythm around them, as if the device was relaying a message, urging them toward action. It's choosing, Ellison. Just then, the T1 core emitted a blinding flash. Ava stumbled back, squinting against the light. Ellison strained against the glow, his face a mask of confusion, shifting into horror as the realization struck him. No way. It can't. But it was too late. The prototype wrapped its luminescent tendrils around Ava, pulling her toward the core. She resisted, fear biting at her gut. Ellison! Ava! He shouted, panic fueling his words. You can't go in there. It's too dangerous. I have to. It knows my mind. It trusts me. She felt a surge of unyielding energy, almost comforting, flowing through her. The prototype sought resonance with her very essence. Stop! Ellison lunged, but the energy pulsed again, and in a flash, Ava found herself enveloped in luminescent light, the world around her fading into a distant hum. I won't let you take her, Ellison cried, voice fading as darkness swallowed her whole. In that instant, Ava understood. Tesla's core was alive, choosing her because of her connection to his dreams, because she carried the echoes of hope that sparked the prototype's fight against despair. But there was something deeper lurking beneath her resolve. She had never been prepared for what it meant to wield such responsibility. As the light dimmed, she appeared on the brink of the alien energy spine, vast and foreboding. Above, vivid patterns of stars swirled in chaos. And then, a rhythmic thrum echoed through her, reverberating in her chest. It was time to act. She suited up, the weight of the world resting on her shoulders as she piloted a stolen alien crawler deeper into the living vessel. Inside, shadows writhed and pulsed. There, she spotted the missing humans, plugged into the hive as organic memory banks. A knot tightened in her throat as she prepared to sever their link. Just as she initiated the pulse, she felt a familiar heartbeat resonate from one of the prisoners. "No, it can't be." Ava recoiled, realization crashing over her like a tidal wave. It was her brother, long thought dead, thrumming with life, but all too vulnerable. Gripped by panic and desperation, Ava stood frozen, heart racing. What would she choose? Freedom for humanity or for her brother? The weight of her decision pressed down as shadows crept closer. She was on the edge, and the abyss beneath called to her. Ava's heart thundered in her chest as shadows danced around her. The lives plugged into the alien hive flickered like dying stars. Time slipped through her fingers, a precious resource dwindling into nothing. She couldn't just stand there. "Ava, snap out of it!" a voice screamed from her memory. "You have to save them!" The alien pulse thrummed underfoot, vibrant and terrifying. She tightened her grip on the controls, every fiber of her being screaming at her to act. "I'm trying." But the terror clawed at her resolve. There was no turning back. Her brother's face emerged from the chaos. The boy who once cheered her on during science fairs, who shared her dreams. How could she abandon him now? "I can't let you die. Not again." She stepped closer, her breath hitching. His eyes, once full of laughter, were fogged with the specter of pain. "Ava, is that you?" he rasped, the words shaking from his lips. "Aiden, I thought I lost you forever." Emotion choked her voice. She reached out, desperate to connect, to reassure him. But the dim pulse of the hive wrapped around them both. It was a trap. "Ava, you have to choose." A voice, powerful and resonant, broke through the panic. It was the T1 core, alive and aware. "If you sever the link, you risk their lives." "What do you mean?" "They're trapped." She felt the prototype stirring, linking with her thoughts, pushing her to understand. The connection was deeper than physical. It threaded her memories of family and dreams through this connection. "Your brother is more than a memory bank. He carries a legacy. It is his essence that binds you both to this moment." "Ava, I can't feel my heart. You've got to help us. Please." Aiden's plea echoed, grounding her in the swirling chaos. "No! I won't lose you again!" Tears stung her eyes. This wasn't just a mission anymore. This was everything. The agonizing choice loomed before her like a black hole. Save him or save humanity. Each second felt like an eternity as conflicting emotions boiled within her. Yelling echoes met her resolve. "Do it," urged the resonant voice of the core. "He is a key. If you sever this link, you might lose him forever. But if you can coax the truth from the hive, you can save them all." A heavy doubt crashed over her. Could she risk it? What if she failed him again? She couldn't. It felt too cruel. "Tell me what to do," Ava shouted, voice trembling. "If there's a way to save everyone, I need to know." "Believe in the connection you share. Trust it," the core insisted, its energy fluctuating wildly around her. "It will lead you to the truth." And just then, as sanity slipped through her grasp, a red warning light blazed in the alcove. "Life support failing!" the alien ship's voice clamored. panic rising with every second. Aiden's gaze darkened, fear eclipsing hope. No! She couldn't let that happen. Gripping her makeshift weapon, Ava yelled, "I will not choose! None of this ends here!" The pulsing crescendo of energy intensified. Shadows closed in, straining the boundaries of reality. She looked to Aiden, shaking with fear and desperation. "I'm coming," she shouted, willing herself to push through the terror. "Just hold on." As Aiden's face twisted in silent agony, she glimpsed the truth. Failure was not an option. She had only seconds to act. "Please, trust me," Ava breathed, locking her gaze on her brother as she activated the pulse. The air crackled around them, electrified with tension. The choice she made would seal their fate. "No!" he cried, but she was already setting their lives in motion. In that moment, shadows surged, and darkness threatened to claim them all. Would she grasp the swirling truths, or would she lose the light? Her heart raced, the pulse of the hive echoing like a drum. A heaviness settled in her chest as uncertainty flooded her thoughts. But as she activated the energy pulse, the ship convulsed, on the brink of collapse. Ava's world blurred, pulling her deeper into the grip of the unknown. And just as the energy lights began to whir alive, a blinding flash consumed her vision. The tether unraveled. Ava's heart froze, the weight of choice crushing her. The staccato breaths of human captives echoed in her ears. Their lives were slipping like sand through a sieve. She couldn't just stand there. "Ava, snap out of it!" A voice from the deep recesses of her memory clawed through the terror. "You have to save them." The alien pulse thrummed beneath her, vibrating with an energy she couldn't comprehend. Aiden's face flickered before her, his laughter from happier times now a ghost. "I can't let you die, not again!" "Ava, is that you?" His voice was raw, barely a whisper. Emotion coursed through her, fierce and unyielding. "Aiden, I thought you were gone." Tears threatened to spill. She extended a trembling hand, desperate to reassure him. But the hive's grip tightened, a sickening reminder of their reality. "Ava, you have to choose." The T1 core interjected, its voice laced with urgency. "If you sever the link, you risk their lives." "What do you mean? They're trapped." Frustration surged. She felt the prototype awaken, pulling her closer to clarity. The connection was deeper than she realized. A bond forged through memories, dreams, and sacrifice. "Your brother is vital. He's a key to breaking the hold. Severing the link may doom him, but prolonging this agony entangles us all." "Help us, please!" Aiden cried, urgency seeping into his desperate tone. His plea anchored her amid the chaos, igniting a fire of resolve. "No, I won't lose you again." The commitment behind her words could shatter mountains. Fear and loyalty warred within her. Time ran thin, and the horror of choice loomed. "Do it," urged the T1, its voice resonating within her. "Coax the truth from the hive. Save them all." But was the risk worth it? "What if I fail?" she whispered, panic clawing at her heart. "If you believe in that connection, you can change everything." The core's energy pulsed around her, raw and alive. The warning light on the alien ship blared, a siren of imminent death. "Life support failing!" The reality cut deep. Aiden's eyes widened with fear. "No, no," she breathed, heart racing. What was a mission compared to family? Just hold on. I can't feel my heart, Ava. His anguish seared her. I'm coming! Every instinct screamed to press forward, to shatter the walls of despair. Trust me, she called, locking eyes with Aiden, determination crystallizing within her. As she activated the pulse, everything trembled. Shadows clawed at the edges of her reality, trying to pull her back. No! Aiden shouted, panic rising in his voice. But she had already chosen. The weight of consequence was now hers to bear. With the pulse echoing around them, the alien ship convulsed violently, the air crackling with energy. Time fractured, and visions of truth spiraled before her. Truths that could shatter worlds and bind souls together. She wasn't ready, but as the energy ignited, everything around her blurred. Numbers and memories intertwined, reality unraveling beneath her grip. Then a blinding flash engulfed her vision. The connection snapped, a lifeline fraying in a tempest of uncertainty. In an instant, the ship's tremors escalated. The hive, once contained, now exploded into chaos, and with one final surge of light, the darkness swallowed her whole. Ava, you have to choose. The urgency of the T1 core's voice shattered her like glass. Every heartbeat echoed with the fear of irrevocable loss. Memories blurred, yet one truth remained. Aiden's life hung by a thread, fluttering in the storm of choices swirling around her. Inside the alien hive, faces flickered in and out. Humans trapped, souls caught in a web of despair. Her heart raced. I can't let you die, not again! The specter of loss haunted her. Their past echoed louder than the din of the alien pulse. Aiden's haunting smile, the way he could make her laugh even in darkness, felt like barbed wire wrapped around her chest. Time slipped through her fingers like ash in the wind. No, I won't lose you again. Her voice cracked like ice beneath pressure. Resilience spurred by love, tempered by anguish. She reached out into the chaos, desperate, trembling, seeking comfort in the warmth of his presence. Aiden, please, she gasped, heart pounding, the weight of every decision pressing down on her. His eyes met hers, fear mingling with hope, a single flicker against the black abyss. You have to do it, urged the T1. To save them all, you must embrace the truth. Truth? Ava felt the fabric of reality fraying, each pulse of the alien mind, a reminder of the lives on borrowed time. What if I fail? Panic surged like poison through her veins. Believe. This connection is your strength. Trust in your bond. The prototype pulsed around her, its energy igniting a spark of clarity. But the sirens wailed. A countdown echoed through the chamber. Life support failing! The voice sliced through her thoughts like a knife, each tick of the clock stealing away precious moments. Aiden. She saw the desperation etching lines on his forehead, urged by the tether of shared memories. Just hold on. I can't feel my heart, Ava. His anguish clawed at her, a raw wound tearing open in the center of her resolve. She inhaled deeply, steeling herself for the inevitable. Trust me. Determination surged, a tide pushing her past fear into the unknown. With trembling fingers, she activated the pulse. The energy surged, wrapping around her like a storm. Shadows clawed at the edges of her vision. Each crack of lightning threatened to unmoor her. But she had chosen. Consequence became her shadow. With explosive force, the ship convulsed beneath them. the fabric of their shared reality unraveling. Rings of truth spiraled around her, illuminating dark corners of her mind. She felt the weight of history, knowledge, and pain cascading through her consciousness. Each revelation a step closer to salvation or damnation. Then, an overwhelming flash engulfed her, blinding, all-consuming. The connection snapped. The ship lurched, chaos erupting around her. The hive, once a hive mind, ruptured into agitated screams and flashing lights, the very heart of alien technology trembling under the weight of her choice. In that moment of blinding clarity, she didn't know where Aiden was, didn't know if she had saved him or damned them all. And with that final surge of energy, the darkness enveloped her, leaving nothing but silence in its wake. The stakes had never been higher. All paths led to the uncharted realms of the unknown. What came next would change everything. Silence descended within the shattered remnants of the alien command ship, wrapped in the echoes of chaos, the kind of silence that presses against the ears, heavy with uncertainty and the burden of loss. Ava floated amid the ruins of the hive, a stillness enveloping her where mere moments before, reality had twisted like a tortured vine. A shadow of dread gripped her heart, as visions of Aiden slipped and slid just out of reach, like smoke trailing through her fingers. "Did I save you? Did I save us?" she whispered, the futility of her question dissolving into the void around her. Her body felt distant, as if it no longer belonged to her. Ava's mind swam through a haze of pulsating shadows. Flashes of the alien consciousness mingled with memories of laughter, of the warmth of Aiden's embrace. "I won't lose you again," she had promised. Yet here she was, submerged in regrets and memories vibrant enough to cut deeply. The alien vessel shuddered, a guttural response protesting against her final choice, its machinery no longer a singularity, but a disordered heartbeat. The price of their conflict was painted clearly across its metal frame: destroyed hopes, broken connections, and the fractured psyches of the humans once trapped within. She hadn't just severed their ties, she had ripped apart the tapestry holding their fates together. Fingers trembling, she reached out to grasp the remnants of the last pulse she had unleashed, as if it could tether her back to reality. "T1, do you read me?" She could feel a flicker, a soft pulse of energy from the prototype far away, somewhere beneath the chaos. It was there, yet unfathomably distant, like Aiden's warmth had been when she buried her face in his shoulder and time evaporated. Ava. It was the T1, its voice a whisper amidst the drifting debris. "You changed them. The alien minds, they are fractured. The hive is collapsing." But at what cost? She closed her eyes, memories flooding. In flashes, she saw Aiden's face, his unwavering support, flashing bravado, hiding endless vulnerability. "I chose to awaken them, but I left a part of myself behind." A hollow ache twisted in her chest, a gaping absence where hope had lived. Above her, the remnants of the hive flickered ominously, remorse breathing through the walls. Not all is lost. The T1 pulsed slightly brighter, as if sensing her despair. "Your decision ignited understanding. The connection you forged. It transcended fear. It's an empathy wave." Empathy. The word tasted bitter on her tongue, a paradox of genuine hope in a world turned dark. But do they even want our understanding? The choice remains theirs. Trust the bond you created. Ava, they need you. Each beat of her heart thudded against the silence, a fragile hope stirring deep within her. What if? How many? The question hung in the air, heavy with the weight of her past decision. Those who still feel the resonance within the hive, they can hear you. That flicker of possibility sparked against the darkness surrounding her. She had opened a doorway, igniting the chance to reach Aiden, but whether he stood waiting on the other side remained unknown. Through the wreckage, the tension of an unresolved fate pulsed. She could feel it in her bones. With a determination clawed from the edges of despair, forcing her to push against the quiet void, she thought of Aiden, of the lives intertwined, hanging in a precarious balance. A distant light sparked beneath the debris, shimmering with a strange energy, illuminating her once more in the dark. The T1 resonated, echoing with possibilities yet to unfold. This will guide you, Ava, but you will need faith. Faith? She whispered, eyes blazing with a renewed spark. What if it's all too late? Or what if it has just begun? Shivers danced down her spine, uncertainty lacing her words. But beneath it, an ember of hope glimmered, fragile yet fierce. Outside the remnants of despair, the weight of redemption teased the corners of her mind. I'll find a way. Again. In the depths of the alien wreckage, amidst the shattered hopes and broken bonds, Ava felt something stir, a warmth igniting life anew. She closed her eyes, drew in a deep breath, and prepared for the unknowable. The remnants of the past coiled tightly around her, but she dared to reach beyond them for the glimmer of a brighter future, wrapped in the promise of that flickering light. The warm glow of dawn slipped through the fractured hull of the alien command ship, illuminating the ruins of a battle fought in shadows. It was harrowing to think. After everything, here Ava stood, both victor and captive, a sentinel of loss. The cost of their freedom lay heavy on her heart. Like a smoldering ember, it glowed, fierce yet painful. T1, she murmured, her voice echoing in the emptiness. Are you there? She could feel its energy, a pulse of consciousness reverberating through the remnants of the hive, intertwining with her own. What comes next? Hope, Ava, the T1 replied, its voice soft yet resonant. You opened a door. It's time to reach across the threshold. Each word hung in the air, infused with the gravity of her shared sacrifice. The faces of those she had saved flickered in her mind, each a thread in the tapestry of her choices. Aiden, more vivid than ever, his laughter woven into moments now eternal. But I lost so much, she protested, the weight of longing constricting her throat. Where do I go from here? Forward, the T1 whispered back, almost a caress. You gave them understanding. You shattered the fear that held them. They will remember. As she surveyed the ruins of the alien structure, remnants of once mighty technology lay scattered, their power now dormant. Reflections of the lives entwined within its walls echoed around her. Amidst the debris, hope bloomed, fragile yet tenacious. Do they even want our understanding? She questioned, feeling the burden of her choices settle firmly on her shoulders. Their minds are flickering, Ava. Some want the connection. Some still cling to despair, the T1 urged. Trust in what you created. Reach out and give them your strength. Ava's heart quickened, a tempest of emotion surging through her. Emboldened, she stepped into the heart of the hive. All around her pulsated with latent potential. She closed her eyes, channeling every ounce of courage, every memory of laughter, every spark of warmth that once ignited her soul. Together, she whispered. her thoughts threading through the ruins. We rise. A surge flowed from her core, spiraling into the fabric of the hive. It resonated, thrumming with vitality as echoes of humanity resonated within the remnants. She felt their hesitation, their fears uncoiling and transforming, becoming threads woven tightly with her own. Emerging from the darkness, the flickers of alien consciousness brightened, reaching for her. They were fractured yet awakening, eager yet tentative. Faces peered through the relentless void, human and alien alike. A fusion of hope blossomed, intertwined with memories of shared pain. Aiden's face smiled back at her, his spirit shining through the fracture. Not lost, just waiting, he seemed to whisper, and the corners of her mouth lifted. Yet within that newfound light, a disquiet crawled beneath the surface, the silence stripped bare of certainty. Lord, how many had been left behind? The question clawed at her, sharp and relentless. We'll find them, Ava vowed, her resolve igniting anew. Somewhere, they're waiting too. The T1 pulsed beneath her fingertips, echoing a promise. But there is always a cost. In that fragile moment, within the wreckage of the hive, Ava realized what it meant to truly carry the weight of the universe, what it meant to love and to believe, despite the shadows. She was alive, and she would forge ahead, step by step, into the unknown. With each heartbeat, the hive responded, a tenuous bridge between worlds, reviving the delicate and powerful connection she had ignited. Humanity stood in awe of the stars, careening toward a future painted with the hues of promise and possibility. Yet, as she prepared to leave, the shadows whispered. A final, haunting note of Tesla echoed through her mind. They'll be back. But this time, she wouldn't face them alone. Now, she breathed, shrouded in the warmth of hope. We're ready.